Hello everyone, welcome to Nepal Night 2011, which is part of a long tradition here at MSUM, going back at least 6 years. My name is Konrad Jinsky, and I am privileged to be the advisor to the Nepali Student Association. I could not be here this evening to welcome you since I'm presenting a paper in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But I wish you a most wonderful evening where you will enjoy Nepalese cuisine, a wonderful costume show with traditional dress, and if you wish a henna tattoo, you are welcome to participate in that. And there will be traditional music, singing and dance, especially the Kumari dance. And so, while I wish I could be with you, I am with you in spirit, and I wish you a most enjoyable evening. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Dr. Jinsky. We'll miss you for the event. Now moving on to the show, now I'm going to call upon a person who had visited Nepal a few years ago, and he loved the land of their rest. And he still recalls the wonderful experience as one of his best moments in his life. Please welcome everyone, Professor Peter Gibb, the Professor of Management, to share the experience while in Nepal.
Well, thank you, Lenny, and thank all of you for making some time for this professor. I appreciate it. For those of you who didn't perhaps quite hear it, the name is Peter Gibb. I teach international management here at MSUM. I am not any kind of an expert on Nepal, but I have visited Nepal twice. I do have some knowledge of Asia, as my research over the years has frequently been in India, China, as well as Southeast Asia. I've been in Nepal twice. I was there in 1985, and I was in Nepal also in 2004. These were basically tourist trips, but for somebody like myself, they were no less interesting because of that. They were perhaps more interesting because of that. I would like to make two sets of brief observations. First, just some personal comments about my travels, and second, a few comments about politics and economic reform, because you got stuck with a professor of business. So what motivated me to travel to Nepal in the first place? Like many others, it was the mystery and majesty of the mountains that was the first attraction. Nepal, after all, has 240 peaks that are over 20,000 feet. I am fond of telling my students that when you see our Rockies, you are amazed at their grandeur, and you gaze up to the far horizon. But when you see the Himalayas, you tilt your head backwards and you scan the top of the world. It is a transcendent experience of the first order. I'm also flying across the face of Everest in my day on a Royal Nepalese airline DC-3. Was also a transcendent experience of the first order. But one quickly begins to experience the diversity of the culture and the tradition on any visit to Nepal. As many of you will know, this is expressed in enormous and colorful clothing, and we're getting another sample of that tonight. Also expressed in religiosity and architecture. The unique blend of Hinduism and Buddhism for a visitor like myself makes the experience immensely worthwhile. now we need to make room for another reality, and that is the change in aspirations and expectations that accompany development, which is happening at a rapid rate in Nepal. One of my great experiences in 2 trips to Nepal has been hiking the beautiful green foothills of the Himalayas. On one of these walks, I met a 12-year-old boy. He was walking near his village outside of Kathmandu. He discovered I was a teacher and almost immediately informed me, remember he was 12 years old, that he wished to attend the University of California, Berkeley. Okay, so we talked, and of course I provided him with what information I could. My Nepalese students here, and the ones that I have met abroad, are all inquisitive, motivated, articulate, and unafraid. Now, I'd just like to make a couple of comments about political and economic development. It seems to me Nepal is now striving successfully to develop a new political identity as a multi-party democracy. It is not an easy road. 2 internal realities make it difficult. One is the power of history, manifested in the monarchical and feudal tradition. The second is the political extremism that always gains traction during periods of crisis and rapid transition. A third reality that represents opportunities as well as obstacles is the reality of globalization, as manifested in the case of Nepal and the breakneck advance of neighbors like India and China. Nepal's ancient and profound culture may well provide the emotional and intellectual anchor for this great change and for the problems that lie ahead. When I think of Nepal, there are these images. Mountains at the top of the world, beautiful people in a kaleidoscope of colors, young professionals striving to make up for lost time, mysterious ancient cities and architecture, people absolutely excited about developing their personal and private visions of life and having the opportunity in a young democracy to do so. Anyway, back to the mountains where I started. From Joseph Conrad, paraphrase, "You too," they seem to say, "you too shall taste of that peace and that unrest in a searching intimacy with your own self. Obscure as we are, and as supreme in the face of all the winds, in an immensity that receives no impress, preserves no memories, and keeps no reckoning of lives." At any rate, thanks again for inviting me, and I hope everybody has a really good time, and I certainly plan to. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Guys, for sharing your experience with us. Now, this is a known fact that Nepal is the land of many gods and goddesses and manifestations, which are worshipped in various symbols, images, and various forms. But, have you ever heard about the living goddess? Kumari Devi is a young prepubescent girl, a manifestation of divine power. She is the incarnation of the ancient goddess, the Lady. She is supposed to possess cow-like eyelids, snail-like neck, tree-like body. The Kumari dance is derived from the ancient classical dances of Nepal. It is dedicated to the goddess Kumari. Please give a round of applause to Royal Donkey, President. performance, don't you think?
Well, I thought she just looked like the Kumari.
You know what you should do? You should learn some steps from her, and you guys should perform it in the next Nepali night.
You really think that?
I think you guys will be amazing.
Well, let's decide that part later. Let's move on to the next show.
Well, our next performer is Astamanda, here to sing a song, More True Like Sara Sansa, by Abhay Sleep Engine. This song is about love. Please give a big hand to Astamanda.